Microsoft has just packed Windows 11 25H2 with a bunch of new features and improvements, but there's a problem. Even if you're running the latest version, some of these features may still be hidden on your PC. And today, I'm going to show you how to enable all of the latest features from the huge Windows 11 25H2 summer update, including the new taskbar options, the redesigned start menu, the new search experience, and several smaller improvements that Microsoft is slowly rolling out. But there's one important thing you need to know before you start, because simply installing the update doesn't necessarily mean you'll see everything immediately. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have everything enabled and I'll quickly show you exactly what has changed. Before we get started, make sure your PC is actually running a compatible Windows 11 25H2 build, because these feature IDs are tied to specific Windows builds and may not work correctly on older versions. Also, keep in mind that these are features Microsoft is gradually rolling out, so your experience may be slightly different depending on your build. With that out of the way, the first thing we need is Vive tool. If you haven't used it before, Vive tool is a small utility that allows advanced users to manually enable Windows features that Microsoft has already included in the operating system but hasn't necessarily enabled for everyone yet. It's widely used by Windows enthusiasts and is especially useful when Microsoft is testing features through controlled rollouts. Once you have the latest version of Vive tool downloaded, save it somewhere convenient on your computer. I recommend creating a dedicated folder directly on your C drive so it's easy to access from command prompt. For example, you can create a folder called Hidden Features or Vive tool. Then open the downloaded archive through File Explorer, click Extract All, choose Browse, select the folder you created, and extract the files there. Once the extraction is complete, open that folder and copy its full location because we're going to need that path in just a moment. At this point, Vive tool is ready, but we're not going to enable anything yet until we open command prompt with administrator permissions. Now open Windows Search and type CMD. When command prompt appears, right-click it and select Run as administrator. Windows will ask for permission through user account control, so click Yes. Once the administrator command prompt is open, type CD, followed by a space, and then paste the location of the folder where you extracted Vive tool. Press Enter, and if everything is correct, command prompt should now be working directly from your Vive tool folder. This is important because the commands we're about to use need to be executed from that location. And this is where the interesting part begins. The first feature bundle is designed to unlock the new taskbar experience along with several related improvements. After entering the appropriate Vive tool command and feature ID for your specific Windows 11 25H2 build, press Enter and wait for the confirmation message indicating that the feature configuration was successfully changed. The important thing here is that you should use the exact commands and IDs provided for your build rather than randomly experimenting with feature IDs from other Windows versions. But the taskbar is only the beginning. The second feature ID enables the newer Start menu improvements, and this one introduces some changes that are much easier to notice. Run the second command in the same administrator command prompt window and wait for the successful feature configuration message. Then we have the search experience. The third feature ID enables the newer search changes, including the redesigned search homepage and other improvements that Microsoft has been testing. Again, run the appropriate command, wait for the confirmation, and once all three feature configurations have been successfully applied, you can close command prompt. Now comes the part where you actually get to see what changed. Restart your computer so Windows can properly apply the feature configurations. Once the system comes back up, don't worry if everything doesn't look completely different immediately. Some changes are located inside settings or behind specific menus, which is why I want to quickly walk you through the major improvements so you know exactly what you should be looking for. Let's start with the taskbar. Right-click an empty area of the taskbar and open Taskbar Settings. One of the things you may notice is that the Taskbar Behaviors section now exposes additional options. Microsoft has been experimenting with more flexibility around the taskbar, including options related to its size and positioning. One particularly interesting change is the smaller taskbar option, which gives you another way to control how much space the taskbar takes up on your screen. These may look like small changes, but together they give Windows 11 users more control over an area of the operating system that has traditionally been quite restrictive. And remember the Start menu change I mentioned earlier? This is where things get even more interesting. Open the Start menu and go into its customization options, and you may notice that Microsoft has introduced additional controls for the different sections. The recommended section has also been renamed to Recent, which better reflects what Microsoft is trying to show users there. You can also get additional size options, including small and large layouts, depending on the configuration available on your build. There's also an option related to hiding your name and profile picture from the Start menu if you prefer a cleaner interface. So instead of Microsoft deciding exactly how your Start menu should look, you're getting more control over the layout and information displayed there. But there's still one major feature left, and this is probably the change that you'll notice most when you start searching for something. Open Windows Search and you may see the new search homepage with a redesigned layout and updated search results. Microsoft has been working on making search more useful by providing a more modern starting point and improving how results are presented. The new experience is designed to make it easier to find what you're looking for without having to navigate through multiple places in Windows. There are also additional controls connected to search that give you more control over the results you see. Depending on your build and rollout status, you may find options for managing web results and Microsoft Store results directly through settings. Microsoft is also improving how Windows handles relevant locations and indexing, which can help make file searches faster in places where you frequently look for content. So while the new search interface is the part you can see, there are also changes happening underneath that are designed to make the experience more responsive and useful. And this is why I think the Windows 11 25 H2 Summer Update is more interesting than it might initially appear. None of these changes individually completely transforms Windows 11, but when you put them together, Microsoft is giving users more control over several core parts of the desktop experience. The taskbar is becoming more customizable, the Start menu is getting additional layout and personalization options, and search is receiving a redesigned experience along with additional controls and improvements behind the scenes. Of course, there's an important limitation you should keep in mind. Enabling a feature with Vive tool doesn't necessarily mean Microsoft considers it completely finished or officially available to everyone. Some features are still being gradually rolled out, tested, or hidden behind feature configurations. That means a feature can change, disappear, behave differently, or even cause problems depending on your Windows build. So before making any changes, make sure you understand what you're enabling, create the restore point or backup if necessary, and always use feature IDs that correspond to your specific Windows version and build. So, after enabling these features, what do you actually get? You get the newer taskbar experience with additional behavior and customization options, a more flexible Start menu with new section and layout controls, and the redesigned search experience with a new homepage, updated results, and additional settings. And those are the main changes you should look for after restarting your PC. If you want to explore everything included in the Windows 11 25 H2 Summer Update, I've also covered the full build and all of its changes in much more detail in another video, so make sure you check that out. And now you know how to enable the latest Windows 11 25 H2 Summer features and what to expect once they're active. The biggest changes are clearly the taskbar, Start menu, and search improvements. But Microsoft is also continuing to make smaller usability and reliability changes across Windows 11. If you found this video useful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to TechGetter Official, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next Windows 11 update. And if you're already running 25H2, let me know in the comments which of these new features you actually have available on your PC, because the rollout can be different from one system to another. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.